For more, let's bring in Oklahoma Senator and cage fighter, also a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, Mark Wayne Mullin. Senator, good to see you. I always want to call you Congressman, and I keep getting that wrong. I'm sorry you've digressed to the Senate.
I went to the old folks' home.
You are. Listen, this stuff is ridiculous from people like Hillary Clinton, but how do you respond to her?
Yeah, you don't. You ignore her. Let her be irrelevant. Let her go off into the sunset, and hopefully we see her gradually fade away. And that's what I really wish she would do. She's completely irrelevant, and she's not in today's politics. She's still hung up that President Trump literally beat her, and she was expecting to be moving in and be the first female president. Fortunately, that didn't happen. But how do you? I tell people all the time, how do you argue with crazy? You don't, and that's the category I put her in.
It does exemplify, though, Senator, the Democrats' cheap ploys that they will use to get votes from young people, in particular. Again, blame, because what she's saying is, it's hot outside, and Republicans are responsible for climate change.
But if she wants to be serious about that, then she would leave the MAGA part out of it, because when she's categorizing somebody, she's calling them names, essentially. So if she wants to have a serious discussion about this, let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. In some areas, we are breaking records that are 45, 50 years old. But was there a climate issue 45, 50 years ago when we set the record to begin with? And then if you really want to start talking about science, science is always changing, and it always evolves because we always get better technology on how to measure things. And so what she's trying to say is just talking points, just blow talking points with no substance. And she's using the fear. Well, that fear is starting to turn on them because their own party is getting tired of Biden and the administration. The left are never going to be satisfied because they got the left as far to the left as they could because they fed them with raw meat and fire, and now they want to continue to have fire, but they can't blame anybody but themselves because guess what? They're in charge, and they can't even do anything about it.
Yep, and remember when she told that coal miner that she was going to put him out of work and then find him a new job? Look, I want to get your reaction to this. Joe Biden calls himself the most pro-union president in history, but are the unions pro-Joe Biden?
United Auto Workers have still yet to endorse the president over his controversial electric vehicle push. Meanwhile, the threat of an auto workers' strike looms over the crucial battleground state of Michigan. So, Senator, how do you see this playing out? Are the unions actually not with Joe Biden and Democrats?
I think the union bosses in Washington, D.C. are still with Democrats. I think the union body of the workers are not. I think the Democrats know that they're losing the blue-collar workers, and the blue-collar workers also understand that this administration isn't for them. You take what you just said, Dagen, just a second ago about the miners and the attack of the miners and the unions that they represent. Then you talk about the United Auto Workers, and you go, hey, look, you guys are trying to eliminate our jobs with no other jobs to take their place. You're trying to get rid of all combustible motors. Well, Detroit doesn't really survive with only EV vehicles, and you're trying to say that you're going to save our jobs and you're pro-union. That's absolutely a joke. And at the same time, they're taking union jobs away and they're putting them in right-to-work states, which Oklahoma is a right-to-work state. I'm all for that. I think every state should be a right-to-work state. I don't think you should be forced to join a union. But these individuals, they say they're the most pro-union. This administration, the Democrats are saying they're pro-union. They're actually killing union jobs. Think about our pipeliners, our oil field workers. They're all union. Most of these are union jobs. And just the Keystone Pipeline itself, when they canceled it, canceled 11,000 pipeline jobs. These are individuals that are part of a proud union that have laid infrastructure across the United States for us to have reliable energy, and they literally killed their jobs. In Oklahoma alone, you have 350,000 jobs, which the majority of those are union jobs that rely on oil and gas industry. And if they kill the oil and gas industry, they kill those jobs. What are they going to replace it with?
Anti-union, pro-China. That's the philosophy of this administration. Senator Mark Wayne Mullin, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Great to see you, Senator.